we are back looking at your triggers out of the trigger list. And you've chosen these triggers. Change very urgently, very trapped, need more cash now, I can say.
Yes.
I really feel out of control. I need to be in control. And I need to very urgently start to make extra money from other sources. So if we look, we'll follow the normal steps of looking at this problem situationally, exploring some, and should we find positive situations, we'll go forward and prepare those to communicate it. We'll look at communicating it to people we want to engage and need to engage with to take you forward. So I can summarize that we need to make the unknowns known to let all fears disappear. Those fears that comes from those triggers and feeling trapped. Turn what was perceived as unknowns into opportunities will be fun.
Yeah.
And the gap where you are and where you want to go, where you could go, turned out to be very interesting. And then we will end up rewriting your CV to tell a powerful story, which is the golden thread of your decisions to date. And the stories are the powerful thing. If we then look at your signed commitment to yourself, you've agreed, you've read through that, and now, should we achieve the above, we will escape this resume mentality. So then we can move right into action, looking at the 3 steps, and we will probably have to repeat the 3 steps a couple of times.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So let us open up the spaces. So we're going to explore some, address your immediate needs. So if you take over the keyboard,
Right.
and tell me where you are. I simply kept on asking you things like, what will you do if you really have enough money, enough everything? What will you really do that is fun to you? And we have different ways of asking those questions in different situations. Must arrive at an answer that we aim your next career direction clearly into that area where we will have fun.
Yeah.
And earn good money, of course.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So, is that good?
That sounds good.
So here's what happened.
Alright, yeah, I updated this question. If we can go to that.
Okay.
Right, so if I can expand on that.
That looks much better than the first one.
Yeah, it's a lot
Okay.
better. What kind of work do you want to do more than anything else? Contract marketer, where I'm not bound to just one company, working flexible hours, making lots of money, and being independent, working on an invoice basis as opposed to salary basis, or in brackets, an employee mindset.
After a bit of a process, back and forth, what came out is contract marketing, yes, but really in market development,
Yes. Yes.
a real challenge. Just selling the stuff is boring.
Yes. Something where it's going to take
it has to break into a new industry like you now do for your current company, you will do for the companies you look at.
Yes.
So once it's set up, you will help to develop a few salesmen that can carry on with the boring work of sales.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That sounds, yeah, that's
I was quite surprised by that one. It took a while to
yeah,
tickle that one out. Yeah. So you've got to add that. It's very important you add that. So why would you enjoy it?
Well, why will I enjoy this kind of work? It would mean that I'm more in control of my life, would be a happier person, healthier person, which is very important to me. I'd like to think, I'd like to try as far as possible to live a balanced life. And it affords me then more time and money to be able to do that, which includes time for family, friends, go on regular adventures, travel to new places, do the things that I really want to do.
I hear another element to this market development job. That if you develop the market for somebody, you would like a little bit of ongoing revenue by monitoring it and not being so dedicated in hours, and monitoring you can do from remote on a computer.
Yes.
So the contract marketing, market development seems to address your needs. Now, it took us about 3 rounds through this before we arrived at this clarity. While we had to address your crisis first. So it's clearly the exercise worked.
Yeah, it's
and
changing
very
every
well.
time. Yeah,
But it's growing every time.
it is.
In fact, it's clarifying and converging.
Yeah.
It's actually converging.
Cool.
So how would they benefit by you doing more of this work? How would the business benefit, others benefit? Okay.
Well, who would benefit? Everyone who knows me, especially my family, where I have a lot of responsibility. I want to have the positive energy I used to have before the kind of stress that I've recently, but it's been for quite a while.
You've been sitting in those career boxes feeling
for a long time.
Stole your energy?
Yes, definitely. Converted it to negative energy, and I could see it in the people's reactions around me, and feeling that you can't change it, but you know how you should be, but you have no way of getting there that you know of, which is really bad. So that's changing already.
Tools we used and the processes of changing your actions to a different process made the box disappear almost.
Yes.
That career box we talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is great. So I can see how it affects people when they have the positive energy. It inspires them, relaxes them, and I want to be an example of a whole and a healthy person, so that I can also share the life story, the positive life story with others I know, so that they can better themselves as well. Because that's also a thing I like to do, is to then share this thing with others to grow them. And that means that those that I love will benefit from that, and that's good.
So that's why you started recruiting people, I now understand.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
How would they benefit by me doing more of this? Improved relationships, strengthened bonds, more quality time with family and friends. So that's important.
So did the process work for you to ask people around you, look at it differently as we normally guide it in the formal models?
Yes, I've got a bit of feedback. I'm still waiting for some, but I have already got some feedback. Interesting stuff. And it's good to get perspective, and it's worked so far. Yeah.
That's very good to hear. Okay.
Okay, then just some notes and feelings.
So in this case, you did need help.
Yeah.
The action plan wasn't enough. The action plan with the videos online, that didn't do it because your crisis was a bit deep.
Yes.
You needed a companion.
Yeah.
A little bit of a daily hand-holding for a short while.
Yeah.
So then we organized your current situation, and what I like about it, and it happens for most people, that all of a sudden your current situation with the same people, the same setup, they didn't change. You just changed how you approached it. Less of a victim and more in how do I contribute.
Yeah.
A mindset change.
Yeah, mindset change.
It's just a paradigm shift. And this then came out that your current work now is your first contract.
Yeah, which is great, because it means you get to keep the relationship, not burning the bridge.
Keep your momentum.
Yeah, keep the energy, leverage the clients that I've got that I can use already, and just carry on with. So to go through what's come out here, what would you tell someone very important what exactly it is you want? So work-wise now specifically.
Now you understand why it is so difficult and important to get these words, because that's the beginning towards that CV beyond the formal CV, which is a story.
Yeah.
That powerful story.
Yeah.
It was a bit tough to answer this.
It was because
I'm glad you say was.
Yeah, not is. Okay. It was because maybe it's still a bit ongoing, but the mindset has changed definitely from the box of typical CV where you're just stating facts, and where you have to oversell yourself. And normally, like I was saying earlier, it's always a bit inflated, because that's the industry. You always inflate, and you mention only the good, positive, quick selling points about yourself. It's not in a story format. So you're not drawing people in, making them part of your life story. You're just pushing your skills out to try and sell yourself.
Now, if you would just hold your book up, how many pages of triggers you have?
Quite a few. This is book number 2.
It's book number 2 as well.
So.
Now, those triggers helped you a lot when you went and tried to craft this.
Yeah.
And this is your second round of crafting.
Yes.
And soon we'll do a third. But it's only been 2 weeks. So, in a few hours here and there.
Yeah.
So it's not
that much.
So you do have a lot of triggers and feelings, and you did capture them in your book, and you look back in the books?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it helps a lot to keep
when you go and sit down, you can't remember those triggers and inputs and thoughts. You have to capture them so that when you go and sit and do your detail, you have the reference, right?
Yeah, no, it's too much. It's too much to just remember offhand.
So you would recommend this?
Definitely.
Okay. So now we're at the stage where you're communicating to your current company, your story to your existing clients and colleagues. Did you complete that?
Not completely
soon
yet. Yes, it
so
will.
That's going to be done in the next day or 2.
It has to be.
It can't hang.
Yeah.
So will you get your stories to communicate to your family? You communicated to.
Yes, that's first.
And now you should be ready to start communicating to colleagues. And you are seeing other companies this week, which will force the communication. But you've prepared LinkedIn.
Yes, I've updated
a few rounds.
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit.
And you're getting feedback from the same people.
And I've, like I said, so I'm getting a bit of hits on LinkedIn from random sources, which is a new thing, which is quite cool. And I've updated things like, the Twitter and all that as well. So whatever I've got, I'd like to use to publish to as wide an audience.
But you have a story to publish.
Yes,
which
still needs to be.
We like to call it the beacon, and what you said to me the other day is that your beacon's light is getting a bit brighter.
Yeah, that's it.
You did plant the beacon, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to light up.
Yeah.
And now you can just keep going. Same little process over and over. And you will never fall into this trap ever again.
Sounds good.
So now you communicate this story to the people where you go to, right? So you followed more or less this line, in this case with a bit of coaching, and you now headed for companies. What surprised me, and I think surprised me and quite frankly even you, in your private time, you read about technology, especially mobile, telecoms, and we were both surprised when we called a few companies and we found a company that says, come around, I'm looking for a salesman.
Yeah.
That was quite a surprise.
It's supposed to be true. Yeah.
They never advertised.
Yeah.
They never talked to a recruitment agent. You found them. They didn't find you.
Yeah.
You interviewed a company, whether they suit you. So now you choose the company and the work you do.
Yeah, that's cool. It's the other way around from how I'm used to things.
But it's almost completely unthinkable.
Yeah, it is.
And yet it works so well. And remind you, that we have higher up in the document the references to our own companies where we did this all the time, and also pro bono work where we do it for a few thousand people a year now, especially at university and school level. And on our social ventures on the website and business ventures, you can see a lot more where this happens in practice. Cool. So it's a long history. Starting in Hewlett Packard, we like to brag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
So the key thing of freeing up time, in your case, we are now looking at managing your clients and your client sales processes more effectively. That as a contractor, you can give the full value to each product you agree to push into an industry. It even came up with your current company.
Yeah.
You can easily take their product into new industries for them that they are not in. And by coincidence, the company we are targeting for your next contract, they have a call center that you can use to market the first company.
Yeah.
You're going to use social media, which your company doesn't use very well.
Not at all.
But now you can use it for your benefit. But we did agree that whatever you do for your current company and the new one, You will follow a very rigid process of keeping them informed and making sure you are aligned with the company strategy as we point out in our slides, which the slides are all in a separate video. So you feel then I can basically say,
yeah, right.
you've arrived.
Yes.
Almost.
Where I'm at right now, I can say to leverage the context opportunities that I've got that I can use right away. The experience is there.
And 10 days ago you had the same contacts,
but it was in a different
but you
place.
didn't have the space to leverage them.
Yes, I didn't think it was possible to use that for where I want to go at all.
And all that changed is your approach and your
mindset.
Perspective,
way of seeing things. Yeah.
Wasn't very expensive, was it?
No.
Okay. So you're now targeted. You now know how you can add value to those companies.
Yeah.
And value that suits your natural energy. It's actually what excited you from a very, very early age, as we found your golden thread in life.
Yeah. These alternative ways to add, apart from the obvious, would be things like rewriting their marketing strategy, gaining clients in industries and sectors that they did not think was possible.
But one thing I would like to add here, Llewellyn, out of our conversations is rewrite their marketing strategy with the team of people I work with in a virtual way.
Right.
Because you go and check your marketing strategy opportunities with people like myself and others, which means you bring much more value than you can bring by yourself. And that should now come into your story. That you go and check and bounce from wise people in the specific industry and specific marketing skills.
Sounds good.
So you are not alone.
Yeah.
They don't hire you alone. They hire a network behind you.
That's very powerful.
And that you are at a point where you can use that network with the network's excitement, encouragement, and full knowledge.
Yeah.
It's always going to be transparent.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great.
So can we say that you are now smack on target?
Yeah.
It's just going forward, so we can say you are going for results, right? So you are about to make the companies an offer they can't refuse.
Yep.
It sounds to me you are ready where I listen. So this you've got to complete now.
Yes.
And then, just in summary, your situation, the inputs, the environment didn't change. You just changed how you respond, what you do with it. And in that light, we always like to say, these things happen. It's still the same out there. Out there didn't change, although it feels like it did, but it didn't. Instead of reacting, that shrinks you, you now act in your best interest, that expands you. So we just want to remind that it's just your thinking that changed. Then everything changed thereafter.
Cool.
You're happy with that?
Very, very much.
So I hope we see you on the website often.
You will.
And we do offer extra options pretty soon, so watch the space. I hope you will stay on our newsletter.
Definitely.
So that you can be aware. And I also heard you can already start mobilizing to help others. Why we encourage that so strongly is that what you've just learned, what you've just experienced, if you now share it with more people in your family, your colleagues, your friends, and in your narrow market development focus career direction, the better you develop your skills. We first of all encourage that you share it freely, and also where you find people can do with some coaching, we may also benefit a little in the process. So I hope we're going to have some fun and walk along the road.
Sounds good.
How would you summarize the process in one sentence?
One sentence?
Maybe two.
One long one.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like you were saying, the beacon has started to be illuminated, which was maybe shrouded with a lot of fear and doubt and a whole lot of other crap. So that stuff started to fall away, and it's just because of perspective, seeing things in a different light, getting coaching, wisdom, situational coaching specifically. So that's changed a lot, and it makes me want to share it with other people, which is good. So that's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Thanks a
Feels
lot,
good.
Helen. It was fun these last 2 weeks.
It's been awesome.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Me too.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.